Uh, so this is a single phase full wave controlled rectifiers, and here you can see that single phase full wave controlled rectifier means four thyristors are used. So here at a time, two thyristor will work for a particular uh, half cycle. Okay. Supply voltage, similarly like the previous cases, is only the AC supply, and this is T1, T2, T3, T4. Four thyristors are connected. Okay. Mm, Here in this case, in this waveform, you can see that at each half cycle, we will provide one pulse. That is, at each half cycle, we will provide one gate pulse by the thyristor. Okay. So this is the um, single phase full controlled rectifiers. Okay. So um, we will provide one for positive half cycle, one gate pulse, and in the negative half cycle, one pulse will be given. So one pulse will be shared by two thyristor here. Okay. So let us consider for positive half cycle. During positive half cycle, what will happen? This will be the circuit. This is during positive half cycle. So in this case, you can see that thyristor 1 and thyristor 2 is connected. So they will conduct. As we have already discussed that thyristor initially does not conduct, it will come first in forward blocking state. So during positive half cycle, uh, suppose this thyristor T1 is more positive than thyristor T2. Okay. So let us consider A position is more positive than B. So T1, T2 are in forward blocking state, and T3, T4 are in reverse bias state. Okay. So now you can understand that pulse is given at alpha. At alpha, the pulse is given. So during that time, T1, T2 is on, and during that time, the thyristor is get short circuited. That is T1, T2 get short circuited. So the load current path will be from A to X. X means the load side, that is XY. A to X, X to Y, and then again B. This is the current path or load current path. Okay. So this is the load current path, and the load is resistive here, and this is for the positive half cycle. Okay, now for the negative half cycle, similarly, the thyristor, which T1 and T2 will be in the reverse bias state. Now in T3, T4 in forward blocking state. So they will come to conduction after triggering the pulse. Okay, so negative half cycle, B is more positive than A. So here the conduction will be from B to X to Y and then again A. This is the mm, I naught or load current path. B to X, X to Y, then Y to A. Uh, this is also called two pulse converter, and the conduction duration for the thyristor is from alpha that is pi minus alpha, from alpha to pi. So the conduction duration for T1, T2, you can understand that after pi it is coming to forward blocking state. As you understand that it is the resistive load. Resistive load means it will not at all allow the negative half cycle of the source. Okay, so it will end at that point and again it will start after pi plus alpha. Okay, up to this, is it clear?
Ma'am, during hello,
Hello,
yeah, ma'am. During the positive half cycle, the input voltage in T1 and T2 is forward bias, no?
please repeat. So this way it will go, and since it is a resistive load, what will happen? The conduction will stop immediately at uh, pi. After that, it will not work because the that time this will T4 T3 will come to conduction and T1 T2 will be in forward blocking state, or it will not work. So again after pi plus alpha it will again start conducting. This way it will repeat, and you can see that the load voltage, the output voltage or load voltage VO and output current, uh, they are following the same waveform. Okay, so this is the thing, and here the conduction duration of the thyristor is pi minus alpha. That is, this is the conduction duration. From from alpha it is starting, ended at pi. So pi minus alpha is the conduction duration, and the peak inverse voltage is maximum voltage Vm, this one. And now what actually is happening, that here the load current is following the source current. Okay. Now if I consider, uh, suppose if I consider the source current without ripple, then what will happen? We have seen that this is our diagram. Okay, this way it is going. Okay, so what you can see, this is not a pure sinusoidal wave. It is having some ripple. Now we are considering that the source voltage, the load voltage will follow the source voltage. Clear? So let us consider the source voltage as the ripple free. So we will take the source voltage in this way. So here the source voltage is considered as the ripple free one. Okay, so this is our source voltage. Here let us assume that the load voltage equal to source voltage, and we are considering there is no ripple during the conduction of source voltage. So here IO equal to IS. Okay. So this type of waveform is known as quasi-square waveform. And as we have already discussed that quasi-square waveform has certain current waveform, that is I naught equal to 4 I naught by n pi. N is the number of harmonics n pi cos n alpha by 2. So this is our alpha. Okay. This is our alpha and this is pi. This is again pi plus alpha. Sine n omega t minus n alpha by 2. Now you can see that this n is the number of harmonics. So it will come. So the first harmonics of the wave, that is the fundamental harmonics, will cross at when n equal to 1. So it will be cos n plus cos n cos alpha by 2. So our first harmonic component will pass at this point. So this will be alpha by 2 point. Okay. So this way it will go. So this is our source current. Its first harmonic will pass through alpha by 2. Clear? This is the fundamental component of source current. And it will cross at alpha by 2. So at this point, the fundamental component will start. Okay. Now, the fundamental component of the source current, that is IRMS, will be equal to, it is the fundamental. So let us write it as one fundamental RMS value. So that is equal to 0.9. It is already done. How to derive the fundamental component of quasi square waveform. 0.9 I naught cos alpha by 2. Okay. So here source current and load current are same. The ripples of source current is neglected here. Okay. Now the output of the controller, the output of the converter is positive DC. You can see in this picture the output of the converter is positive DC, whereas source has positive and negative half cycle. Okay. So by allowing the negative half cycle of the source, we are getting negative side source current as positive side load current. Okay. So we are getting this kinds of waveform because of this. Okay. So this is our fundamental component of source current. Now the average voltage. What will be the average voltage? Average voltage will be from will be equal to output voltage, and that is equal to the conduction cycle is pi. So actually each half cycle will have separate combination of thyristor conduction. So the conduction period we will consider that each half cycle, that is pi. Since the conduction duration already we have discussed is pi minus alpha. So the conduction period will be from alpha to pi, and it will be Vm sine omega t. D of omega t. Okay, clear? So there you can see so average voltage we can get this way Vm by pi minus sine omega t will be minus cos omega t pi alpha to pi will get this value average voltage. P output equal to Vm by pi 1 plus cos alpha. Okay. So in this case, if we put 0, alpha equal to 0, so that means what? If alpha equal to 0 means there is diode. Alpha is for what? Thyristor. Alpha is there means we can trigger or we can control the uh, conduction according to our wish. So if I put alpha equal to 0, then it will be uncontrolled. That means diode is used. So if I put alpha equal to 0, V not equal to Vm by pi. That is the full bridge rectifier with diode. Okay. So this is the source voltage and source current. Source current is starting from alpha by 2 and source voltage is starting from 0. So here you can see that the fundamental component of the current will start from alpha by 2 position. Source voltage is starting from 0. So the phase angle difference between source voltage and current is alpha by 2. So this is the displacement that cause of that difference is actually the displacement power factor. This is the phase angle difference between source current and fundamental component. So cos alpha by 2 is the displacement power factor. So what is displacement power factor? That is source voltage cos of the angular difference between source current and fundamental component. Okay, so this is the displacement power cos alpha by 2. And distortion factor is is1 by is. That means fundamental component of source current RMS value divided by source current. Okay, so our source current is I naught and distortion factor will be 0.9 I naught cos alpha by I naught. So it will be 0.9 cos alpha by 2. And if alpha is 0, distortion factor will be 0.9. This is the uncontrolled rectifier. Okay. So if the wave is pure square wave, then the displacement power factor will be cos 0 by 2 is 1 and distortion factor is 0.9. And if it is shifted square, then it will be cos alpha and distortion factor is 0.9. And if it is quasi square wave, then it will be cos alpha by 2. Okay. So now we will discuss about the large. We'll discuss about the same rectifier with large inductance. Previously, any load cannot be purely inductive, neither purely resistive. So that way, it is considered as purely resistive one. Now we are considering the purely, not purely, it is with RL load but sufficiently large L. So large L means it has some effect with the inductance. What is the effect? What should be the effect? You understand that without L, what will happen, and with L, what will happen? If L is there, what will be the facility? Do you know what is the facility? Having inductance in the circuit, we can get the conduction during the negative cycle also. Negative cycle means negative half cycle of the source also. Okay, because inductance is a charge storing device. If during any half cycle it is storing some charge, in the negative half cycle also it will try to release the charge, which may conduct some current in the load side. Okay, so that is why sufficiently large inductance is there, and therefore the current can be continuous. Okay, here with the large inductance, current is constant, load current is constant. Here also, during the positive half cycle, T1, T2 is on. During negative half cycle, T3, T4 is on. Clear? Now in this picture, you can see that at alpha it is started conduction. So T1, T2 during positive half cycle, T1, T2 is on. The conduction is going on. Then in the negative half cycle, what is happening? Since it is having L, so during the positive half cycle, that is from alpha to pi, it was storing the charge. The inductance will store charge from 0 to, sorry, alpha to pi. After pi, that is in the negative half cycle, though the conduction is not there, though the thyristor is not on because of the negative half cycle, but still there is some charge in inductance which it will try to release, and you can see in this picture that the path is from A to X to Y to P, and during negative half cycle it will try to free will its charge through T2 and the source. So during that negative half cycle it will allow the negative half cycle of source from pi to pi plus alpha. Then again at pi plus alpha it will start the next conduction, that is from T3, T4 will be on, and at 2 pi it will be again repeating the same thing. Now you can see the current conduction is continuous. Here, now in this picture you can see the thyristor conduction is from alpha to pi plus alpha, and thyristor T1, T2 is conducting from pi alpha to pi plus alpha, then again from 2 pi plus alpha to again continuous. Then T3, T4, T3, T4 is also on during the negative half cycle, and it is this one. This is the conduction, and in the same way, if I draw the both way conduction, that is this, here we are again assuming the load current is constant and load current is following the source current. So this is our source current. Now here the average voltage is 1 by pi so all of you, if the link cuts, all of you please come in the same link, okay? Again with the same thing, from alpha to pi plus alpha it is conducting, so we are getting average voltage like this. Again displacement power factor is cos alpha. The Fourier expression of the source current Is equal to 0.9 I naught and distortion factor is 0.9 and input power factor is V naught I naught by Vs Is. Since Is is equal to I naught, as we have assumed that source current equal to the load current, so it will be V naught by Vs. Okay. So from that, IPF input power factor will be equal to distortion factor into displacement power factor. Now the thyristor average current is magnitude into on duration by total duration. On duration is pi. Okay. So I naught into pi by 2 pi. So I naught by 2 is the thyristor average current. RMS value is root over of I naught square pi by 2 pi. So I naught by root 2. So full wave rectifier, single phase full wave rectifier, control rectifier will have R and RL with displacement power factor. These are the things. Thyristor and input power factor. Come to next portion, that is half controlled. Half controlled rectifier means, similarly from the previous cases, you can see half controlled rectifier or semi controlled converter is having two thyristor, two diodes, and the pulse is given at each half cycle. Okay. So what is happening here during each half cycle? Combination of one thyristor and one diode will work. Okay, so they both will be in conduction. So if it is thyristor and diode and thyristor has different conduction process. You understand? Because if it is on, then diode will on, and if it is on, initially thyristor will be in locking state. So this is the difference in conduction. So that way we need to think. So during positive half cycle, T1 is in blocking state. During the positive half cycle, T1 thyristor is blocking, forward blocking state, D in conduction. So T1 and D1 will be in conduction. Okay. Uh, Before triggering, there is no conduction. So here load current is assumed to be constant during the conduction time. Okay. Now if the triggering is given, load voltage or load current will follow the source. Okay. Now this load is RL load. Okay. So RL load means here L uh, L will affect the current conduction mainly, because though it is R plus L, the conduction through resistance will also be affected by the charging property, storing property, charge storing property of inductor. Okay, so voltage follows source voltage, load voltage follows source voltage. Now inductor is storing charge from alpha to pi. Okay, now from pi to alpha, T2 is off. After pi, L will release energy through paths, and it has two paths. One is through D1 and through D2 T1. Now, since T2 is off, since T2 is not started before pi plus alpha, you can see before pi plus alpha, since T2 is not started, it will have the path D2 and T1. So the charge will be released not through D1 but through D2 and T1. So during that time, the thyristor T1 and D2 will get short circuited. Okay. So if it is shorted, then the output voltage will be 0. So you can see in this picture, during the pi to pi plus alpha, during pi to pi plus alpha, we are not getting any voltage waveform there because it is shorted. So that time T1 and D2 will be on. So they will follow this path. Though output voltage is not there, still we will get the continuous constant current I naught. You can see this picture. Okay. So the freewheeling action will be from pi to pi plus alpha. So similarly, in the negative half cycle also, the same thing will happen. That is, D2 will be in forward blocking state and D2 is on. Okay. After giving trigger pulse to T2, T2 is in conduction. So D2 and T2 are directly connected across the load. And T1 conduction duration is from alpha to pi and also pi to pi plus alpha. So our T1 conduction, that is thyristor 1, will conduct from alpha to pi plus alpha. Okay. And D1 is conducting from 0 to pi. This mm, this converter is also called as symmetrical converter. Source current drawn from thyristor is alpha to pi and from pi to pi plus alpha. Pi to pi plus alpha current drawn from load. So from pi to pi plus alpha, source and load current is not same. Okay. Now the freewheeling action, as we have mentioned, is from this pi to pi plus alpha. So this is our thyristor current conduction, that is alpha to pi plus alpha, 2 pi plus alpha to 3 pi plus alpha. This way the thyristor 1 is conducting. Now diode, as we have mentioned already, since diode, when it is connected or in the forward uh, in the on condition, they will conduct immediately. So it is starting from 0 to pi. After pi, it is stopped. Again, it will start from 2 pi to 3 pi. So it will follow the source current or voltage. So thyristor average current will be I naught into on duration by total duration.